more on it, but about the programs that is running, yeah, definitely we do have some questions about it. And the brand wise, we get to know like we are dealing with Emerald in media. Emerald brand would be dealing with hot water system, that another heat pump, and the media brand would be dealing with the aircon. And if
Mhm.
customer has already upgraded the programs, like hot water system, then we can pitch our another product. It's like kind of cross selling. You can do it. We will
Mhm.
go through the aircon, and aircon we don't have much ideas about it, but little bit idea is like it is like ducted or non-ducted system, centralized, non-centralized, or reverse cycle system. And
Mhm.
we are providing heating and cooling system both in a sense. That's a reversible one.
Mhm.
And we'll be asking about the vents, like if it is a ducted system vents, and vents will be charging like 250 per vent, and above 8 vents will be charging like 250 per with plus GST. And like others, like gas heater, if they have updated the gas heater, that it will be costing a little bit more than the electric one. I think it's a total individual room also you can go through. Individual each room, if we change the aircon for non-ducted one, it will be costing you like $1,000 plus 10% GST on it. You know, those
Mhm.
all like we have basic idea. We don't have much idea, but yeah, we practice these things. We Bonnie, yeah, explained
Mhm.
all about it, and yeah, I'm sure some guys have more on it. I'm sure they have something to tell on it. That's all from my side. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
So that
Suman.
was
Appreciate that.
impressive.
Yeah, it's pretty much like everything. I mean, whatever we need to understand. Um, but yeah, does anyone wants to add additional points or anything extra information in addition to what Suman has just mentioned?
Hello, ma'am. I would like to add one point just that
Mm-hmm.
if we engage a new customer in between 20 to 30 seconds, that that the main point that customer will listen to the whole script. After
Yeah.
that, they
Mm-hmm.
will buy or not buying our product. That's up to his choice. But at least they can hear us out. If
Mm-hmm.
we engage the customer starting 30 seconds, that's it.
Yeah, that's absolutely right.
Thank you, ma'am.
Anyone else?
Go on, Rochelle, Devin, Devaney, sorry, Mohammed. You can talk about the other things that Suman hasn't mentioned. There are some things that we discussed in what that language session. Also, some things about the hot water system as well. Anything at all. Vipin as well.
And one more point, ma'am. If the if a customer says that I know your accent, you sounds like an Indian, so I have a short, simple answer for that. That yes, sir, you are absolutely right. I am an Indian, but that's the beauty, sir. We work overseas, and this company footsteps have lot of other countries, ma'am or sir. So that's the beauty of my accent, of my nationality.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Right. I mean, that's not something which you will not be getting from customer. Definitely, there will be some curious customer, who would point out to you that you don't sound like one of us, or you sound like based on your accent, based on the way you talk. Um, where are you based? Where are you located? And then maybe sometimes out of curiosity, customer will ask you that question. Or sometimes if that person or that customer is um more of a racist, then maybe they will bring in that question again. We don't know the reason, the exact reason behind customers, but most of the time, it's because they're curious, um, to know more. That's the reason why, that they will point out or they will talk to you about their our accent. Um, but yeah, anyway, good to know information. I think we have Puja here. Hi, Puja. Good morning. Can you hear me? Hello, am I audible?
Yes,
Yep,
you're audible.
loud and clear, ma'am.
Okay, cool. Puja, can you hear me? You're still on mute. Maybe you can try um, you know, remove the mute and maybe try saying something so that we can all hear you.
Are you there, Puja? Can you hear us? Or maybe you'd like to log out and log in back because your probably your mic might have been having some technical problem. Log out and log in back and see if you can unmute yourself and talk.
And since I think all others are not speaking, let me add some on it, Lojena, what we learned in the training as well.
Mm-hmm.
We'll learn about like sales speech also. Like how do we interact with the customers? Like how many kinds of customer there would be. Like what are the we assume it actually. We don't have practical experiences about it. Whether in my first call or second call or third call, customer might be saying no. Customer might be not picking the call. So how I'm gonna deal with that one? We just create certain scenario. We just act like some of us act like a customer, some of us act like a lead generator. We just interact in that session as well. So how to overcome those things? you know, like about the bad feedback, about the good feedback, about the image of the brand certain in the market, since how many years the program has been running, whether customer is benefited or not. So how can we deal all those kind of things? We just, we did have an idea about it one to one and during training time, we keep on asking questions. Sometimes, me as a Suman, act like a customer, and we start this kind of conversation also. Very, very few days. I mean, so these are all what we have. And modern cultures, I think they speak see others are speaking. They're Christian in religion, and they speak in English. And that's very true. There's no other language they are using, which is our communication means actually. And what do you understand? Like we are a kind of point of contact, between the company and the customers.
Mm-hmm.
We are a
Mm-hmm.
mediator. Mediator. We are sharing some information. It has to be correct information. Our communication has to be clear. And I'm sure, they call it MTI, mother tongue influence, that we do have. That even you, I'm sounding maybe like I'm from Darjeeling, India kind of thing, It might have, yeah, but we're trying to overcome those all things. And we try to overcome as well in previous days during our training time,
Mm-hmm.
more on focusing about
But
the product, more.
on my personal opinion, that we don't have to change our accent. We just have to smooth and clear that in front of us, customer will understand us clearly. We don't have to change our accent. We just have to be smooth and clear. That's it.
No, 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 I
Mm-hmm.
do understand that. Yeah, I did understand that. No, since Luciana has a live experience, I'm sure she has a lot of experience, a lot of feedback. The people who is calling over there, people who has, already doing this process. So that's and I'm sharing those things only. Yeah, that's only the thing. So these all like things we had during our training, and like we used to have like kind of sometimes 8 hours, sometimes 6 hours. So regularly we have been doing that. These are things. When other term, like I was just telling like about most of the things about the customers. We don't know what are the questions they arise normally while dealing with this product. What are the questions, feedbacks normally lead generator get from the customers who are dealing with hot auto systems. So those are all the things information I'm sure we'll be getting understanding. So others guys like please go on. Like add some on it. Thank you so much, Lajana. That's all from my side now. For now.
Perfect. Um, yeah, all your points noted, and definitely, all these once we're done with the core process training, we will be talking, based on a real time situations or scenarios that you guys would probably be coming across from the customers. What kind of core scenarios, or what are the common challenges or common questions that you guys will be coming across from the customer once you go live. All those picking up those scenarios or those situations we will be discussing. Um, and of course, after, I mean, we will be also doing a lot of role plays or mock calls based on the most likely questions that you guys will be coming across from the customers. Um, so whatever you have mentioned, Suman, like how to tackle customers or what to say in this case. So all these things we will be discussing thoroughly, one after another, especially after with the core process training. Okay, and it's whatever Harris mentioned, of course, that is also right. Um, see, we here for process training, not it's this is not a voice and accent training that we are going to conduct. So it's going to be based solely on the process, right? The process knowledge, the process information. Um, of course, polishing our accent, our English, our vocabulary is very important, especially if you are, into this BPO industry. Um, but like Harry has mentioned, it's not necessarily that we have to change our accent. But once you based on, I mean, I've seen a lot of people um changed their way of talking. I won't say accent because we can never um be able to speak like the native English speakers, um be it the American way or um the English way or the Australian, right? So um it's not necessary that we have to speak exactly, we have to copy, or we have to learn exactly how to speak and sound like them. Like Harris mentioned, the initially, I mean, what we have to focus on is to relay the message to the customer, to our customer, um, in a very clear way, in such a manner that the customer will be able to comprehend or will be able to understand what exactly you are trying to explain to them. So clarity of speech is way more important than trying to um, understand, sorry, trying to uh, polish your accent. If you're able to catch up with your accent and speak like them, or speak um even if it's not exactly like them, but speak somehow, somewhat like their accent. That is good. That is a bonus point, definitely. But um, instead of focusing on that, because you know what I mean, um, once you start talking to these customers, you will eventually catch up with them. You will start sounding yourself like one of them. I'm telling you guys from my own experience. I mean, when I was working with US based process, it's natural, for us to, because every day, 8 to 9 hours we're talking with this. Let's say if you're in American process, US process, every single day you go to work, you start talking to this Americans like for 8 9 hours, and you tend to understand their accent. You keep listening to them, you keep talking, conversing with them, and naturally, you start picking up their accent, and slowly you start sounding like them. And 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 like maybe after you change your process, maybe after maybe you start working for a UK based process, the same routine keeps um it will the same thing will start again. Like you start talking, you keep on having conversation with this Pradesh, with the English people. Of course, US, we all know the differences in the accents, country based accents. So you start sounding like them, you start catching up, picking up their accents for even if it's not the entire throughout the entire conversation, but some words, you start picking up their accent and you start sounding like them. Now you start talking to an Australian, right? So day in, day out, you're talking to Australians. You start understanding their accent. You start picking up their pronunciations over some words, and you start sounding like. So eventually, my point is that, if you are um, if you even if it's not like it's not like you have a choice. I mean, you keep on talking half of the day. I mean, obviously, once we are done with the work, um we hardly get time to catch up with friends or families, have a proper conversation with them. I don't know about you guys, but yeah, for me, I spend um my time after work. I spend my time sleeping. That's what I do, and less conversation with my family. So anyway, so the amount of conversation that you have on a daily basis, you are having more conversation with your customers who are based in Australia, and you start catching up. Like I said, you start picking up on their pronunciations, on their accents, the way they talk, and you start sounding like them. So it's like it happens naturally without you knowing. Now there's some people, of course, if they're very keen on learning other English speakers accents, they put a lot of effort in it, and um they try to understand every single word, or every single pronunciation, differences in the pronunciation. They put a lot of effort into it to polish their accents and to sound like them. There are some people, um, but of course, they're also, another category of people that naturally, once you keep on listening to these English speakers, native speakers, once you keep talking to them and keep on, hearing them speak the way they speak, you eventually catch up on them, and you start sounding like them without you realizing it. So what I'm trying to say is that even if we don't put in a lot of effort um to polish on our accent, if it's going to happen, then it will definitely happen. At a certain point of time, you will start sounding like them, you will start talking like them, right? So instead of focusing on that, let's all it's always good to have a neutral accent, I would say, because um I mean, if you have a plan of changing your work in the future, um you never know where you will end up with, right? What kind of process. I mean, especially I'm talking about only within the BPO industry, right? So there are a lot of companies, there are a lot of VPO industries, there are a lot of processes that they have running. So if you have a neutral accent, obviously in the future, if you want to change of work and change of job, and you ended up with different country-based process, that as long as you have a neutral accent, you will not find it that difficult to get adjusted yourself with. Right? So um, having a neutral accent is always the best option. Right? Um, I faced personally, I faced a lot of problem initially, when I changed my job. I mean, after working for, years and years in a US campaign, and for me personally, honestly, it's I don't know, but it's I mean, it doesn't take time for me to actually catch up on their accents for some reason, even if um I don't want to, but because honestly, I face a lot of problems. That's why I don't take it in a positive way. But because what happens is your customer starts telling you that you sound like an American. Where are you an American? Or you sound like a British? You sound like a Brit. Are you from the UK? Yeah, so a lot of unwanted conversations start happening, from the customers, and when your accent sound like, even if it's not exactly, you know, like the proper American way of speaking, even if your accent sound a little bit similar to their accent, customers tend to pick up on that and then start asking you a lot of unwanted questions, and you have to come up with, um, cook up stories, um, because you don't want them to know that you are actually, based overseas, or you're actually um, based in India, right? So personally, it wasn't a good, experience for me picking up on this native speakers accent whenever I change work in the past. So it's always very difficult for me to actually, have a neutral accent personally. But yes, the best option is for anyone working in the BPO industry is to have a neutral accent, so that you will not find any difficulties adjusting to any kind of processes that you might be, working for in the future as well. Okay, so we'll be focusing more on, if we talk about the accent or the pronunciations or whatever. Um, let's focus on having a good clear clarity. We say clarity of speech. That's all we need, to at the initial stage. And later on, if you're able to catch up on their accent and sound like them, of course, again, it will become, the conversation will become more easier, even for your customers, for your Australian customers to understand you better. Yeah. So that will leave it up to, I mean, for the coming days, once you start, dialing, or once you start having conversation with the Australian customers. Um, okay, so Bonnie, is we're just still finding it difficult to join in.
Yeah, her microphone seems to have some problem. She texted me. She's trying
Mhm.
to fix it. Maybe trying to join from her phone. I'm not sure what she's doing, but I hope she'll be
Okay,
back soon.
all right. Let's. I mean, this is not something new. Every training batch, some one or the other faces difficulties, technical glitches or technical problems. So that's quite understandable. Let her join in when she's ready. So we will about the reason why I keep on asking, don't like me, but the reason why I keep on asking is I don't want anyone to miss out, from day one, from the beginning. Um, so that's the reason I want everyone to be available in order for me to start with the process. But yes, just for the overview, just the basic stuff. So whatever someone have said, it's pretty much, like talking about the process. Um, it looks like, Bonnie, you have covered, almost the entire thing, especially for the heat pump or the hot water system. But just to make sure that everyone is on the same page, I will be going through, again, it would be more like a refresher session for all of you, especially for the heat pump or hot water system. And once we make sure that everyone understood, everyone is on the same page, we'll move on to the air conditioner, the other product, more in detail. Okay, so before we jumped into the process thing, I'm sure Bonnie have mentioned this to all of you. Um, we you guys know the geographical, the geography of Australia. I'm sure um in Austria, I mean there are different states, but what the campaign the process that we're running or we are doing right now is we focused only in Victoria State. All right. So now each state in Australia, they have their own, the state government have initiated their own campaigns. Like if we talk about North South Wales, the NSW, another state in Australia, the NSW state government also have similar, initiated similar kind of campaign or program, um, called the energy saving schemes. So likewise, in the other states, in Victoria, also the Victorian government have initiated this campaign. Their sole purpose is to the state government have, in fact, the Australian government in general have decided to eradicate, consumption of gas, um, and they are planning to go fully electric. So any kind of appliances that the citizens or the customers, the people in Australia, any sort of appliances that they're using on gas, they're trying to eradicate, gas um, appliances, or in fact, gas consumption by the consumers. So that's one reason why they initiated this program. The other, obviously, it's all about energy saving, and people in Australia, they are paying a lot of a high amount of electricity bill, a high amount of gas bills. So the bills keeps on rising. There's no going down. It keeps on rising. So in a way, the state government is also helping the citizens to, cut down on their utility bills, um, by coming up with this kind of rebate program where, um, because not every customers um, are able to afford, buying those appliances in the market. So the state government, by initiating this kind of, rebate program, they're also helping the citizens to take advantage of it and get their old appliances, replaced with a new one, with a discounted price, um, and also, um, to reduce the carbon emission producing by these appliances. So these are, some of the reasons behind initiating this campaign by uh, the state governments in each of their states respectively. So we will be focusing on the Victorian State Government Initiative Program. So currently we are working for two different initiatives or two different campaigns. Um, One is called the Victorian Energy Upgrade Program, or in short, the VEU Upgrade VEU Program. And the other one is the Solar Vic Rebate Program, Solar Victoria Rebate Program. So these two programs or campaigns are initiated by the Victorian State Government, under which the consumers or the citizens of Victoria can take advantage of this program and get their um, the non-energy efficient products replaced with energy efficient products. Yeah. So with that being said, the hot water system upgrade or replacement will be initiated under um, solar week rebate program. Sorry. Oh yeah.
No, no.
Yeah, so the hot water system replacement will take place under the Solar Victoria rebate program or campaign, and the aircon, the excuse me, the air conditioner will be replaced. The replacement for the air conditioner will take place under VEU program. So it's it's two different. The names are different, and the quality criteria are also different for both the campaigns, which we will be talking about in detail. Guys, just give me a minute. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, Puja, can you hear me? Hello? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Loud and clear.
Okay. Puja, can you hear me?
I think she's facing some major internet issues. I think.
She seems to be speaking. Her, her
Yeah,
icon.
that's right. She
Here.
seems to be talking, but I can't hear her. So, um, I hope you are able to hear me talk. I mean, as long as you're able to hear and understand, I guess that will work for now until the time you fixed whatever is the issue. Okay, so where was I? All right, so two products that we'll be dealing with. One which is replacement of the hot water system, to an energy efficient heat pump. Now, this replacement will happen under the VEU, sorry, the Solar Victoria Rebate Program. And for the air conditioner, the replacement will happen under the Victorian Energy Upgrades Program. All right. Now, these campaigns, these different programs or campaigns that talking about right now, these are just for your information, for you to understand the process in a better way. It's not necessary that you have to explain all this to the customer on the phone. When you start talking to them, because to the customers, what they need is a discount. What they're looking for is a discount, and how much discount that we can provide to the customer, or um, as long as it's under state government initiative program, that's all it matters to the customer. But in order for you to have a clear conversation with the customer, it's imperative that you all are aware of the process and its origin. All right. So now, as I've said before, most of the state government has. It's not like recently, or this is not a new campaign that has recently initiated or started. Um, the state government, the Victorian state government, has since initiated this Victorian energy upgrade program from a couple of years back. And something's wrong with my throat. Anyway, so most of the customers are aware. Yeah, they're aware of this program. They're aware of this campaign that's been initiated by the Victorian state government, because what happens, what they do is, um, like I said before, it's about cutting down on their utility bills, right? The state government, one of the reasons they initiated is to help the customers to cut down on their utility bills. And how to do that is by providing them, um, you know, energy efficient products or energy efficient appliances. So the products that we are replacing with, be it any kind of, be it the heat pump or the air conditioner, or be it any other products that we are replacing with, the old systems, these are all energy efficient products. And when I say energy efficient, it means that even though the products will produce the same, um, it provides the same functions, it provides them the same service. Um, these are built with advanced technology, and these are built in such a way that it consumes less electricity. And that's why we call it energy efficient products, because even though these are all electrical appliances that we are replacing with, it consumes very less electricity, even if they use those products. All right. So that's the products that we will be providing to the customers are all energy efficient products. And it's not just the hot water system or the heaters, or the coolers which customers are using, which are producing high, or which are causing high consumption of electricity or gas. It's not only these products, but there are also other products wherein customers will be able, customers are able to save on their utility bills. So those products are also launched or added, under the VEU scheme um, in the last couple of days, and new products will keep on adding. Um, once 99% of the customers are done with the upgrade, with the air conditioner or with the hot water system, the state government will launch another product, or they will add on another product in the list, under the same campaign. Um, and then we'll start pitching for that product. We'll start providing the customer information about the new products. So it's an ongoing process, right? It's an ongoing process. So once we are done upgrading or replacing with one product, and the market is ventured, you know another products will be added. So it's an ongoing process, and we've been doing this VEU campaign program related process from past um 5-6 years now, and we have done a lot of products, a lot of different products, replacing a lot of different products even in the past. Now what you guys need to understand is that, especially in Victoria, in the last couple of years, most of the products that they have received under this campaign are for free. All right. So products like shower heads, replacement of the shower heads, the exhaust fan covers, we call them the fan seals, LED lights, like LED light obviously consumes less electricity, as we all know. So those are some of the products where the Victorian consumers or the Victorian citizens have received free of cost. They were not charged even a single penny for getting, replacing those products or getting those products under the VEU scheme. All right. So with that being said, people in Victoria are very much used to getting or receiving free products, under the state government initiative program. And to my knowledge, this would be the first time. I wouldn't say the first time, but because in the past, the refrigerators were also, it is still in the market. Still replacement are going on for the refrigerators as well. So for the refrigerators, customer were charged, like they were given a discount, like the way we are doing right now with hot water system, and the aircon. So apart from the refrigerator, to my knowledge, hot water system and air conditioner will be some of the appliances that customer need to pay, certain amount and get it upgraded. If not, apart from these products which I've mentioned, the other products which they have received in the past, those are absolutely for free. Customer did not pay even a single penny for getting those, receiving those products under the VEU scheme. So, reason why I'm mentioning this, because the Victorian consumers are very much used to, they're so much into the habit of receiving free products. If we talk about the VEU, the Victorian, state government initiative program, so there might be objections that you'll be coming across from the customer when you tell them that it's not free upgrade, then they need to pay, a rebate amount, or they need to pay a certain amount, to get the upgrade done. The reason being, yeah, Bonnie.
Yeah, I'd just like to pause you for a moment. Sorry about that.
No, that's all right.
Reason why the customers over there in Australia, in Victoria, they receive the LED bulbs, shower heads, and other small items free of cost, and not for the aircon or hot water system or the refrigerators. Could this be because of the cost difference? Because LED bulbs cost way less when compared to larger appliances like air conditioning systems and
Obviously,
such.
yes. Yeah, we could say that. We could definitely say that. It's because of the price differences. Because, like you have said, but like Bonnie have mentioned, the other products which they have received in the past are, not the expensive ones. Like any customer can, if they want to upgrade it, they can purchase it from the market without paying or without investing a high amount of, money from their pocket. So we can also say that, that could be the reason why they received the free products, in the past, um, but not this time. Because if we if we do a research, if you guys can check in Google's also, like, about the price list or the pricing in Australia, like, the price, um or the cost of heat pump or air conditioner. You guys can definitely, do your own research and check that. It's quite expensive if customer have to pay, oh sorry, if customer have to purchase themselves from the market. So comparing to the market price, we are the amount that we are charging the customer, it's very minimal. Yeah, so that's based on that, we try to, justify our pricing to the customer when we tell them that it's chargeable, but it's just a nominal amount that they're paying. And then we start doing a comparison with the customer, like, if you can check for yourself, or if you are aware of the the market price, you do understand it's quite expensive, and comparing to the market price, the price that we are offering, it's just a nominal amount, right? It's just um, a minimal fee that you're paying. Yeah, so Bonnie, coming back to you, we could certainly say um, that the reason behind getting free products and not this time is because of the cost differences in the products, in the appliances. Okay, so yeah, coming back to my point is this could be one objection amongst the many objections or challenges that you guys might be facing, that customer might be reluctant to, or they might think that, okay, someone, we are trying to scam them, because so far, if any products coming to them under the Victorian government initiative program is free, they had been receiving it for free. Okay, so um, you need to understand that why, based on what circumstances or based on what reasons these customers are, you know, um, objecting, or they're reluctant, um, to go ahead and do the upgrade by paying some pennies from their pocket. Okay, now if I have to, just for you understand, if I have to do a comparison with other states, for example, NSW, North South Wales. In North South Wales, people are um, a contrast to the consumers or the people in Victoria. Um, those citizens in NSW in North South Wales, you will never face, or you'll never find any customers objecting to the price that they need to pay, because the if we talk about the state government in North South Wales, they have never given any products to their citizens free of cost. Each time they launch or they add on appliances or different products, the customer always have to pay a certain amount from their end. So they always get a discount, but not entirely free. So, in contrast to the people in Victoria, people in North South Wales are used to paying, few bucks or few amount to get those products under the energy saving scheme initiated by the North South Wales, state government. So, it's also, I mean, this is also good to know information for all of you, that people in Victoria have received different products in the past free of cost, and this might be, this might be an objection from the customer, and that we had been getting, or we had been receiving free products under the state initiative program. Why do we need to pay now? So this could be a question that, or this could be for some of you, could be quite a challenge to get this kind of question from the customer. So in order to prepare yourself, in order to have extensive knowledge on what made customers say this, or why customers saying this, I just gave you an overview of the other products, or what happened in the last couple of years, um, or what kind of products that this customer received in the last couple of years. So people who have the knowledge, or who have dialed this process for quite some time, they already know what kind of products, because they already dealt with those products. They already um, pitch those products to the customer, so they are aware of, and it's easier for them to give a rebuttal to those kind of customers. But for those people who are new into this VEU campaign or process, that's some information, extra information, which you require, or which will be helpful for you once you go live with the customers, right? So um I'll be showing you some of the products that we did in the past just for your information, and just so you'll be ready to let the customer know that you are quite informative, or you are aware of what products customer have received in the past, and whether they have paid for it or they had been charged. All right. Okay, so an overview of this state initiative program. Remember that we are dealing with two products with under two different schemes or two different campaign, but both the campaigns are initiated by the Victorian state government. It's just that to differentiate with the quality criteria of qualifying the customers, one product replacement will be initiated under VEU, Victorian Energy Upgrade Program, which is the air conditioner. And for the hot water system, it's initiated under the Solar Vic rebate program or Solar Victoria rebate program. Okay. Now, regarding the hot water system, whatever Suman have mentioned, at the beginning of the session, there are comparing to the air conditioner. Honestly, it's a little complicated when it comes to the hot water system. Talking about the quality parameters. Now, solar comparing to VEU, Solar Victoria rebate scheme. This scheme have a lot of paperwork are required in order for the customer to be qualified, and because of that, the quality questions are also more comparing to um, the air conditioner. So basic quality criteria are the customer needs to be the property owner um, in order to qualify for the rebate or the discount. If they are not, see, we can do both. We are replacing the hot water system for both a tenant as well as a property owner. It's not that we're not replacing for the tenant. We are doing that, but the only differences is that if you are a tenant and you still want your hot water system to be replaced with heat pump, then you will have to pay more in terms of the pricing. So the main differences is the pricing. If you're qualified, if you're a property owner, if you're qualified, if you meet all the quality questions or quality criteria, then you will pay a lesser amount comparing to those customers who do not qualify or who do not meet the quality criteria. But in in general, we are replacing for both the tenant as well as the property owner. Okay, so if they're a tenant, if they're just renting the property, um, but they have the authorization to you know go ahead and change their hot water system, and if they're willing to pay um, over $2,000 to get it replaced, then we will definitely proceed with installation or replacement. But the installation ratio is little less with tenants because even though they are willing, the property owner or the landlord to not authorize them, or they don't want to change it. So most of the time the installation doesn't happen with a tenant is because of the main reason. There are so many other reasons, but the common reason is that their landlord or their property owner doesn't want it. They don't want to make any changes. And if they don't authorize it, if the property owner don't give them the authorization to change it, then the tenants, they can't do anything about it. If not from our end, we are ready to do the replacement or do the upgrade for a tenant as well. So talking about the quality parameters, of course, the customer needs to be a property owner, and also they're now see this like I said before, one of the reason why the government initiated this program is to help the citizens to especially those who are not well off. Now, I mean, if you are wealthy enough, then you don't need this kind of programs. You can just purchase it from the market. You can just choose your own, your favorite brand, or you can just choose whatever brand you want to go ahead with, you want to purchase. um you can they can invest if they're well off enough to purchase it from the market. But not every customers, not everyone can do that or can afford that. So it's majorly helping those people who are not well off, or who are not wealthy enough to purchase it by themselves from the market. So um we'll be getting a lot of customers who are pensioners. They are pensioners, they can't afford. I mean, we all know, right? Once um they are on pension, they don't get enough income. So the category, the kind of customers that we eventually ended up installing the products are pensioners, or um people who are um dependent on their sons or daughters, like the old age people. um and of course we also get people who, I mean, judging by their residence, we can we can we can come to a conclusion that these people are well off. But even those customers, of course, they are not excluded. Even if you are wealthy enough, if they, I mean, if they're wealthy enough, they're well off enough to get it by themselves, if they still want to participate in this program or take advantage of this program, they can still go ahead. There is no restriction to any kind of customers, as long as they are qualified, as long as they are willing to pay and upgrade it, right? So but yes, so with that being said, people where their household income is less than $210,000 yearly income, we're talking about the taxable income, um, for one property. So if you're talking to a customer, like let's say you're talking to um, the head of the family, if in that property, it doesn't mean that the yearly income or the taxable income is only for that person that you are talking to. It's a combination of the entire household. Like in one family, it's possible that two people are working or three people are earning. So it has to be a combination of all these three people or two people who, irrespective of how many people are earning in that family or in that property. So when you ask this question, make sure that um, to specify the question, asking the customer um, the yearly income or the yearly taxable income for the entire household. All right. So combination of the entire household property, sorry, taxable income should be less than $210,000. Um, then they will qualify. If the amount goes beyond that, then they will not. Even if they're a property owner, but their taxable income is more than $210,000, they will be disqualified to get the rebate. All right. So every quality criteria should be met in order to get the solar victory rebate, amount. Another uh, quality criteria is that their property. This is weird. I just got a call from BJB in Nagali. What the hell is that? Someone is calling me from BJB or what? I'm not interested in politics. Don't call me, guys. Okay, so another question is their property value, the value of the property. Let's say if they want to um, put up for sale, it should not be, the property value should not be more than 3 million. Now, most of the customers are aware of their property value. So if you might be wondering how will customer know about their property value, we don't need to worry about that because um, every year they have to go through the evaluation of their property. Also, they already have that information with them, and they also have supported documents for that as well. All right, so every customers are aware of like with the property value valuation, the taxable income, they all have supported documents for all this. Okay, so that's the reason why all the customers, majority of the customers are aware of their property value, aware of their household taxable income. All right, so yeah, their property value, if it goes beyond 3 million, again, they will not be qualified for the discount. Okay, so basic, these are some of the basic questions or criteria that customer or every household needs to be needs to meet in order to take advantage of the rebate. Also, their existing hot water system should be more than 3 years and above. It should be 3 years or more than three. They've been using the hot water system for at least 3 years or more than 3 years. Now, um, most of the customers that we have come across so far, 70% of the customers are using gas hot water system, and um, in fact, majority of them have been using the gas system for like more than 10 years. There are some customers who have been using for 20 years, 25 years. So especially if their hot water system runs on gas, or if they have a gas hot water system, you will hardly find customers, who say that I bought it recently, or it's just 2 years or 1 year that I've been using. You will hardly come across such customers. If you come across any customers who says that no, I recently um, replaced it, or I recently got the new hot water system, most likely it will be the electric heat pump that they have got, or they have got them replaced with. So but anyhow, we will not qualify those if their existing hot water system is less than 3 years. So these are some of the criteria, the main criteria that customers should meet in order to consider themselves qualified for the solar rebate. Now, extra questions that we ask the customer is, the extra questions that we'll be asking the customer are for our assessor's knowledge and for knowledge. Because we also need to ensure that customer have an eligible system in order for us to go ahead and replace them. Right. So extra information such as what kind of hot water system they're using currently. We also need to ensure that customer have an eligible system in order for us to go ahead and replace them. Right. So extra information such as what kind of hot water system they're using currently. Is it gas hot water system or electric or solar? Right. So these are the three common type of hot water systems that you will be seeing or you'll be coming across in the customer's premises, are either gas hot water system, electric, or solar hot water system. All right. So anything to do with solar, we're not doing it. We are only qualifying those customers who are using either gas hot water system or electric hot water system. Okay, and for our information, we also ask them whether it's installed outside or inside. their existing hot water system. If it's installed outside, that's for the better, because if the heat pump, I'm sure this has been discussed again, but in order for the heat pump to work, we have to install that outside, like in an open space, because of the heat pump technology. It will not work if efficiently if it's installed in a compact environment, or a compact area, or inside the house. So if their existing hot water system is installed outside, it's much easier to swap, remove the old hot water system and put in the new one, the new heat pump, at the same place, if there is enough space. Or if it's installed outside, then relocation is not required. So it's much easier. It's an easy swap. um and it and it's better for everyone, the plumber, and even for the customer also, because if their existing system is installed inside their premises, it could be in the laundry, it could be in the bathroom, in the kitchen, anything inside, it needs to be relocated. So when I say relocation, or relocation is needed, um, because the plumber have to do a lot of extra work, like they need to, and customer have to pay extra. Most importantly, if relocation is needed, customer needs to pay extra for that. So let's say we're charging $1,350 for the replacement. In addition to this amount, customer needs to pay extra, few dollars, if relocation is needed, because they will have to do extra cabling. They will have to put in extra pipings, extra cables, wires. All those things are required. Drillings to let the pipes or the wires pass through. So all these extra works are required if relocation needs to be done, and any extra charges that will incur during the relocation, customer is liable to pay for that. We are not, the company will not pay for those extra charges. Yeah, so in order to understand the complexity of the installation, we ask the customer whether their existing hot water system is installed outside or inside the house. Okay, so again, all this explanation, all this information that I just provided is to make you guys understand why we need to ask this question. Again, you don't need to explain all this to the customer on call. We just have to ask the customer, or we just need to know from the customer where their existing hot water system is installed. Is it outside or inside the premises? Okay. So that's pretty much it. Those are the questions or information that we need from the customer to qualify them for the solar rig rebate. Once you get once you obtain all this information, and once you confirm that, okay, this customer fits in all this criteria, then you go ahead and let them know that you are qualified for this program, or you're qualified to get the rebate for upgrading your hot water system to an energy efficient heat pump. Let them know, let them be aware of this. And initially, Bonnie, this is especially for you. Initially, I would not be. I mean, I want these guys to just generate the list without mentioning or without talking anything related to the pricing. See, for some of you, for some of them, it would not be that challenging. It would not be that difficult for them to actually mention the price, because what happens is, guys, to be honest, once you tell them the charge, you there um you get two responses from the customer, common responses. One, either they will tell you I can't afford it, and um you know they will reject the lead or the appointment. Second is, customer will tell you, okay, I will have to think about it. There are very, I mean, it's very rare for customer to tell you that, oh, that's an affordable price. Trust me, you hardly find customer which will tell you upfront that, okay, that's affordable price, or yeah, I can afford it. you know like very rarely we get this kind of customer. So the two common responses that we get from the customer after you reveal the price to the customer is that either the customer tells you, no, that's a huge amount. um they will ask, some customer will ask, will try to negotiate with you. Some customer will, tell you that, can you go a little, down, or can you lower the price a little more? Or some customer will tell you upfront, I am a pensioner, it's not I mean, it's not something which I can afford, so let's just leave it. Yeah. Or some customer will say, well, I have to discuss with my husband, I have to discuss with my wife, or I have to discuss with my family. So no concrete, decision, or no decision will be made on that call. Yeah. So we don't get a definite yes after talking about the price. And another common um thing that's happening on call after you notify the prices to the customer is that customer will, start talking about why, how comes, this price, I mean, it's too high, the price is too high, blah blah blah, then you have to again extend the call, because you can't just leave the customer hanging with their questions. You need to try convincing the customer to make them understand more. And in order to convince them, in order to make them understand better or more, you will have to bring all the information that you have obtained so far regarding the process. You will have to do comparison in a and in order to do comparison, you need to have at least the basic information about how the market is rolling right now, the market prices. You have to start talking about why they, why the state government have initiated this program. You have to start telling them about state government's decision to eradicate the gas consumption, blah blah blah. So many things that you will have to bring up, and then try convincing the customer that this is a good price that we are offering you. So not initially, at the initial stage, I'm not trying to underestimate anyone present here, but trust me, this is the reality. Um, when someone is explaining, to us, it may sound easy. It may sound like, oh, okay, I have understood everything. It'll be easy for me to deliver this to the customer, or it'll be easy for me to handle the situation. But in reality, when you actually go live, not everyone is able to deliver. And that's when the call becomes chaotic, and that's when we start losing potential leads, and that's when we start losing customers. So at the initial stage, especially for those of you who are pretty new in this in this industry, or in this process, um, it will be a little difficult to actually convince a potential customer to make them agree with the price that we're offering them. And because of this, Bonnie, initially, I don't want these people to talk about the price, revealing the price over the phone to the customer. And rather than doing that, you know, once what they can do is they can qualify the customer. They have to let the customer know that this is not a free upgrade. They need to pay certain amount to just a minimal amount or nominal um, amount in order to get their system replaced. So making the customer understand that this is not a free upgrade, very important. After qualifying the customer with all the questions that we have discussed so far, after confirming that this customer is qualified for the rebate, then you need to let the customer know that this is not a free upgrade. um, you will need to pay certain amount in order to get your system replaced. So these things, making the customer understand, making the customer aware that it's not a free upgrade, that they need to pay. Only this information is needed from you guys initially. Now, after a couple of weeks or months, depending on how quick you guys are, um, in um, grasping everything, and based on um, your confidence on the product, right? For some of you, it might take months. For some of you, it might take just weeks or days. So depending on your confidence on the product, depending on how quick you guys can catch up with, we will make the changes later on. Changes in the sense that, whatever Bonnie have discussed so far, like telling them about the pricing, and also if any objection comes from the customer, um, how to handle those customer, how to convince those customer. So those things we will make changes. We will add on those extra information at a later stage, once all of you are thorough with the process, with the product, and once you have a good grip on it, once you are confident enough to um, handle the entire call by yourself. So initially, um, deal this information. I want you guys to be thorough on it. Qualify the customer by asking all these qualifying questions, or the quality criteria, um, and confirming that customer is qualified for the rebate, or qualified for the uh, for this rebate program, and letting the customer aware that it's not a free upgrade, but they need to pay a certain amount, or they need to pay a nominal fee to get the upgrade done. And then confirm the customer details, like their first and last name, um, verifying the address, because depending on the database that you'll be getting from the dialer. um, Sometimes you'll get the names of the customers, first and last name, as in their full name, in pop up in front of you in from the dialer. You'll get to see the customers' names. Sometimes you'll be able to see only the last name of the customer, and the first name is just an initial, um, not the entire name. Sometimes you may not see any the customers' names at all. So depending on the database, if you have the customer's name, you just have to. So that's about the customer's names. But in aside from the customer's names, um you always have the address of the customer in front of you, on your system, um and phone number. So it could be a mobile number, or it could be a landline number. So if in the dialer, if you're getting customers landline number, which usually starts with 03, and the rest of the 9 or 10 digits. Um, if you see the phone numbers in the phone number section, if you see that it's starting with 03, that means it's a landline number. You're connected to the landline number. In such case, and because there are two different sections, in the dialer, one is landline home phone number, home phone number and mobile number, right? So if the mobile number is missing, always ask for the customer for an alternate mobile number. Now, sometimes you will get objection for asking this also, because do these customers' mobile numbers are considered as a private number, for personal use, and they don't want to give out their personal mobile number. So you have to be clever when you're asking this information. So in case I mean, you will have in case we're not able to reach you on the landline, can you also help me with your mobile number, right? So we need to let the customer know the reason why we are asking for their alternate number. If before instead of asking, can I get your alternate number, can I get your mobile number, instead of asking them directly, which most likely you will not get it, first making the customer aware of the reason why we are asking for that information, that definitely customer, if it makes sense to the customer, they will provide you with the alternate mobile number. So again, it depends on you as an individual, how you um, ask for those information from the customer. Depending on that, you will either get the response from the customer, or they will not. They will provide you the information that you're looking for, or obviously, if they're not convinced, then they will just tell you, no, I don't want to provide you my personal details or personal mobile number. And it happens in the case of customers' names also. In case if the dialer don't have the customer's name, you have to ask the name from the customer. So sometimes you might also get objection um when asking this question as well. I mean, 'cause some customer will tell you, if you're calling me, you should have all my details. Why are you asking me? Or um, what name do you have in your system? They might ask you, solicited questions as well, if they don't want to provide you their names. So again, if we are seeking any kind of information from the customer, you need to be clever enough to convince them, um, so that they'll be able to provide you that information without raising any concerns or any objections. All right. However, most of the time you will have the phone numbers, either mobile or landline. If you are talking, if your call is connected to the mobile number, you can always ask for the home phone number. Vice versa, if you're connected to the home phone number or the landline number, you can always ask for the mobile number. And address, like I said, address will be in front of you. Sometimes it happens rarely, but sometimes even the address will be blank. You might come across such leads also in the dialer. So in such cases, you will have to get the address from the customer. But most of the time, the address will be available in front of your system. So you just have to read out the address. So, Mr. Customer, I have your address as number 21, John Street, um, you know, Eltham, Victoria, 3912. Is that the correct address? So read out the address and get a confirmation from the customer whether that's the correct address or not. Okay, and email address. Now, email address is very important, especially if it's the lead is about hot water system. The reason being, now it's important for the air conditioner also, but it's more important if you are qualifying, if you're generating the lead for hot water system. Now, reason being, see, there are few customers where we have to refund the 10% advance amount that they paid, just because of this reason, that they don't have any email address. and there was no way for those customers to create one email address for themselves. Now, the reason being, Solar Victoria, like I said at the beginning, in contrast with the Victorian Energy Upgrade Scheme, when it comes to the Solar Victoria rebate scheme, like I said before, it needs a lot of paperwork. So one of the thing that customer needs to do is that they have to fill up the Solar Victoria application, the rebate application form, and it has to be done online. So it has to be done digitally. So if they don't have any sort of digital platforms, then there is no way for us or for the company to help this kind of customers. So they have to either if they have a tablet or if they have a computer, a laptop, they can seek help from their relatives or from their neighbor and create an email address wherein we can communicate, we can send, because it's the company who will be sending the Solar Victoria application form to the customer. So we can only send the application form to the customer. The rest, the customer have to do that, have to fill up that form by themselves. Right. So as part of the VEU guidelines, or solar rebate guidelines, the company, the installation company, whoever is doing the installation for the customer, they are not supposed to get involved in filling up the application form of the customer. Now, the reason being, customer, it's not just about filling up the form. Customer have to provide, they need to upload, their documents which are confidential, like we talk about the taxable income, we talk about the property value. Like I said, all these customers have the document of this indicating that the property value is less than $3 million, or indicating that their household taxable income is less than $210,000. So just verbally saying that yes, it's less than that, or less than 3 million, less than that, that's not sufficient for customers to claim the rebate. So what they need to do is they need to upload these documents. Now these are confidential, these are personal matters which which are confidential. That's why as part of the guidelines given by the Victorian state government under this program, only customer can do that by themselves. No company will be involved in helping them to fill up the form because of these reasons. And not only those documents, they have to upload address proof. It could be their driving license, their identity proof. It could be any sort of medical insurance license or anything, whatever documents they have. They have to upload those um, you know those information as well. Now those are personal information, those are confidential information, and because of that, only customer can do that from their end. So now it depends on the customer how they get it done. They can get help from their relatives. They can get help from, now especially this happens when the customer is old, like 60 plus years old or 70 plus years old, and they're not tech savvy, or they don't have any sort of digital platforms. Those kind of customers, usually we face problems with those kind of customers. All right, so we can only advise them that you can only advise them to seek help from your neighbor or from your relatives, anyone from your relatives, from the family, who can actually fill up the form for you. But again, I'm sharing this information, or I'm explaining all this for your understanding. Again, these extra informations are not something which you need to explain to the customer on call. All right. So to not get confused with the extra information that I'm sharing with you guys, because knowing, this extra information, having this extra information will certainly help you to understand better about the products or about the process. Okay. But that doesn't mean that, all this information needs to be shared with the customer on call. What we just need the email address of the customer. We verify the address to make sure that the address is correct. Asked for any alternate number if we have only one number, be it mobile or landline, popped out in the dialer. As for the customer's name, if the name is missing. So getting all this information, um, after confirming all this information, what you need to do is that you pass on the lead after you confirm all this. You will share the lead information, lead details to C3's backend support team. What they will do is they will call up those customers and verify a few things, whatever has been discussed by you as the lead generator. And after confirming this, they will go ahead and talk about the pricing. They will decide which system to provide to the customer um, based on the number of members in that household. So after determining the number of members in the household, they will provide the tank size, be it 200 liters or 270 liters, and they will also let the customer understand or explain a little bit about the benefits of having this system installed, um, and also the pricing, especially the pricing. They'll talk about it, and if they come across any objection, they will be handling the objections accordingly. And once these things are discussed and informed to the customer, if the customer is convinced and they're willing to go ahead and meet the assessor, our assessors, in person, you will be notified that you'll be told to um, upload that lead as an appointment by the backend support team, and then you will upload the lead and they will schedule the appointment for the assessment. So that's the process that we are going to follow. Any questions so far from anyone?
I have one. That if a customer says that I do not use any email address, but my wife does or my children does, so that email address is valid for send the information
Yes,
to the
uh,
customer.
yes. As long as customer provides you that email address, it's fine. It works for us.
Oh, okay, got
Any other questions from anyone?
Yes, I have one question.
Yes, Suman.
Like as per the script, we're going to inform customer about, we just qualify them only. That's only our role. Like about the tank size, about the price, is the backing team will be like,
Yeah,
asking us those questions. No, like, so our
that's
part
right.
in when we just, qualify the customer. That's it. That's only our part.
Yeah. Initially, that would be the process that we'll be following, and we will see, how it goes, and um, like I said before, we will change it. We will let you guys know when to start, closing the entire call.
Yeah, but we'll not inform about we'll not be asking like how many persons you are residing in your premises. That question won't be asking from us. Plus, we won't be informing about tank size. We won't be informing about the prices. What about like our assessor will be visiting your premises. That information will give it to them.
Yeah, I mean that's a general information. So you guys can always let them know that just giving them a heads up, or just letting the customer know that we will be sending someone in person. We'll be sending an assessor in person to for a site inspection, or to do an assessment on your existing system. But before that, if you're telling this to the customer, you also need to because it will confuse the customer, right? So like I said, if customer ask you, because some customer will ask you, so how do we do, how are we going to do about this, or are you sending someone? So there are customers who proactively ask you this question, and you can't ignore it, right? So you can tell them, yes, we are going to send our assessor, one of our assessor, to your premises, to have a physical check on your existing system, um, and for a detailed discussion. But before that, someone from our backend team will be backend support team, or someone from our support team will be calling you and will notify you when the assessor will be visiting you. Okay, so this you need to inform the customer that before someone is visiting them, they will be receiving another call from our end. All right, and when they receive a call back from our backend support team, the reason you will be giving to the customer is that they will be the one letting you know when on which date or what time the assessor will be visiting you. So in short, the backend support team will be the one fixing the appointment date and time.
All right, I got the answer. And some cases, like there might be the scenario like customers, since at the interview day, if I'm as a lead generator, if I'm explaining about the price, I mean about the product, that means I'm selling at the interview day. So if some customer insists, what is the price of the product? There might be some customers who's asking about the product before qualifying, or after qualifying the criteria.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
like
if they're asking about the product, you have to. I mean, I haven't started with the details of the, especially with the heat pump. So we haven't discussed about that, but there are, and it's not
okay,
what if. It's not what if. There are customers. It's
mm,
like, you guys have to at least talk a little bit about the heat pump products. Because I mean, customer would not agree to anything until and unless they know that this is something beneficial for them. Until unless you make them understand that, okay, by doing this is how I'm going to get benefited with. Because it's not a free upgrade, it's not a free product, they're going to pay for it, so they will surely they will want to know um how this new product, how this new system works, or what is the what is it um that I'm going to get benefited from replacing this product, because they're the ones investing. So talking about the product, this explaining to the customer about at least the um, basic information about heat pump, um, or about air conditioner, that's something which we need to do. You can't convince the customer to agree to even for the assessment, even for the appointment. Forget about installation. Even to make the customer agree for the assessment, we need to convince the customer. We need to make them understand that this is what we are doing, and this is the kind of benefits that you'll be getting. All right, and not every customer will ask proactively that what system, what is this product you're talking about, or how does this heat pump works, or what are the benefits that I'm going to get from installing the heat pump. Not every customer will be proactive in asking you this question, but that doesn't mean that you will not explain to the customer how the heat pump works. All right. So it's part of the script. It's part of our, um, your responsibility being a lead generation, lead generator to, make the customer understand or make the customer aware of at least the basic information about the heat pump or how the heat pump works, or what kind of system it is, and that we will discuss um a bit in detail, um as a reminder for all of you, because I'm assuming that those things have been covered. But yeah, it's gonna be kind of a reminder or a refresher session for you guys, um a bit in detail, um as a reminder for all of you, because I'm assuming that those things have been covered. But yeah, it's gonna be kind of a reminder or a refresher session for you guys. um Okay, so before we start into this, whatever we have discussed so far is like on the surface, the surface of the basic things that we must do as a lead generator. So it's like, understanding the products and its origin, or what happened in the last couple of years, and till the time you generate the leads. So in fact, we have covered, from A to Z so far, but the in between, the detailed, um the even the tiniest of all, the detailed information that we haven't discussed yet, but it's important that we discuss those things as well. Now, before doing that, we will take a break, and it's 10:44 by my watch. 10:45. Let's assume it's 10:45. We will go. Let's all have, I'm sure no one have taken your breakfast yet, so let's just take half an hour time and um you know take up
I'm
breakfast.
just
And
about to say that to you, ma'am. Believe me, I'm just about to say that to you, ma'am.
yeah, I know, I mean, once I start talking I get carried away, but yeah, um but you know my stomach is telling me that okay, it's time for a break. So let's all go for our breakfast. Be back after half an hour. It's 10:45. So, be back next half an hour's time, and we'll resume. And in order to avoid any sort of, technical issues, I mean, this is what I usually follow. Let's not, leave the meeting room. Just stay on mute, keep it as it is, and, you know, um, go on you're taking your breakfast and be back, but don't leave the room, in case if you're not able to come back and join back on time, to avoid that. All right.
Yeah, let's go for 30.